Who welcome to a live edition of the Good Guys podcast. My name is Brandon Dixon. I am a happily married man and a humble father of four. And as always, I am joined by none other than the Honorable, the Reverend Slim Rev, aka Joshua Azer. Oh gosh.
Ooh, okay, cut. All right. Go ahead and do your thing, BD.
Oh man, wow. Yeah, that's the start to the podcast right there. Hey, we're live. We are definitely live.
Yeah.
As you can see.
Now.
Yeah, no turning back. My voice cracked and that's okay. We are here with another live episode of the Good Guys podcast. We are here for you guys, and we've got a great episode today. J.E., are you ready, man?
Born ready, BD.
Okay. All right. How's it been going over there? I know you enjoying the summertime, the no kids, and
I got kids, all right.
Oh, for real?
Nieces and nephews, man. Keeping me busy, bro. I was outside yesterday. My goal yesterday was just to go. Nephew text me. Nephew was like, "Yo, Unc, you trying to get buckets today?" I said, "Well, I'm going to men's night. They're gonna get buckets at the church." But I said, "I'll nephew, you know what? You come first, man. We'll go hoop." We go to the courts, right?
Yeah.
Right. We pull up, right?
Okay.
16 high school kids out there hooping.
Ooh, that's lit.
So the mentor in me,
right,
was like, you know what, nephew, let's go play. Nephews get a little nervous. You know, he's 7th grade. These all high school kids, shirts off, shirts and skins. I said, nephew, man, listen, don't worry about it. Let's go hoop.
Okay.
I just said we're gonna play one game, but I told nephew, I said, if we win, we here.
Okay.
Absolutely. Took us 2 games, and my nephew witnessed a miracle yesterday, BD.
A miracle? What's that?
He witnessed a miracle. You know what happened, BD?
What happened?
It was 90 degrees in Charlotte yesterday.
And
I told the nephew, I said, you want to see God move? I said, about time we get on the court, there will be a cloud covering that sun.
Wow.
Literally, a cloud came and covered the sun for 3 games.
Wow.
We hooped in some shade. It was still hot. But the sun wasn't on us.
Who was that in the Bible that prayed for the sun to stand still? Was that Joshua? Wow.
Come on, man. For the name's sake, bro.
Wow. You did.
I said the cloud's gonna come and cover us, because one thing about me, bro, I ain't about to hoop in no sun. These young bucks, the respect that I got when I came on the court was amazing, BD.
They knew you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not all of them. But they was like, "Hey, yo, Pops." They were like, "Hey, yo, old man." They call me old man.
Wow,
call me Pops.
Wow.
Even though that wasn't my son, I was like, the respect, though. And then when I called next, another team tried to call next, and then one of the guys was like, "No, Pops got next." I said, "Oh, I got buckets, though."
Okay. Well,
but I say all to say, man, it was hot, and I'm tired still, even from yesterday's hooping.
You better than me. I'm not about to hoop in 90-degree weather. I have long since let the game go to the point where I would be playing in 90-degree weather. But you had, you had your nephew, so I understand.
Yeah, when your sons get older, bro.
Yeah, man, probably still no. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into the episode, but before we do, some quick housekeeping. Okay. I see a lot of you guys in the comments. You guys are watching. That's awesome. That's great. Okay. If you're watching on the Good Guys podcast channel, shouts out to you. If you're watching on Josh's channel, that's awesome as well. But have you subscribed to the Good Guys podcast? That's my question. If you're watching this live on Josh's page, that is amazing. Josh's page is awesome. He's got some excellent resources, some great videos. Check out all his content. I'm sure you already do. But we're kicking out good content over here too, guys. All right. So just slide on over to the Good Guys podcast. Just one new subscription to your feed over on the left side, and you'll be able to be notified if you hit the bell whenever we drop new content over here. All right. So yeah, hit that subscribe button right now. Do it now. While you're watching, hit that subscribe button, subscribe to the Good Guys Podcast. Okay, hit the bell so that you get post notifications and interact with us here on the Good Guys Podcast live. Okay, our last segment is when we're going to interact with you guys, and I think we've got a really good one today, so I'm excited about that. Other than that, JE, you got any videos that you are pushing on, got going on your channel?
All lives, man, all lives. Okay. Just all lives this week.
Okay. All right. I've got my family YouTube channel, The Blue Peace Crew. Dropped a vlog last Friday about me spending some time with my sons.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
If you still
have I got it. Oh, I got it, BD.
Oh man, we've got the best production team over here. Okay, I lied. I lied. We do not have the best production team. You're fired.
Hold on, BD. Just keep talking.
We've got an amazing production team here at the Good Guys Podcast. I'm sure they've got it queued up already, and they're just there's just a little internet delay. But it was a vlog. It was about me spending some time with my sons. Making some good deposits. Our production team is just not on it, guys. I take back everything I said.
The pressure, BD. Okay. You put pressure on me, bro. I wasn't expecting to work this hard today, bro.
Oh man.
Hold on, bro. Keep talking.
I have nothing else to say. It was
hold on, bro.
Vlog.
Keep talking.
YouTube,
bro.
The Blue Peace Crew, and look for the most recent vlog.
Oh. Sorry. There you go.
All right. Yep. Daddy Duty Day with no TV. Check that out. All right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get this episode started. Far, my voice is cracked during the famous Good Guys Podcast intro. Josh has failed in every possible way when it comes to production, but it's okay. All right, we're still here, and we're gonna go ahead and get started, as we customarily do, with the weekly airing of grievances. All right. And I've got one today, JE. We actually had a conversation yesterday about this, and you had an interesting experience. So I wanted to give you the floor to let you talk about it. It's an important discussion I think we need to have. JE?
Yeah. It was about a week ago where I desired a dessert. See, for me, Coach Josh, Mr. Ezzy, however you call me, JE, I love 3-layer cakes. Okay. I'm not a 2-layer cake man. I'll do a 1-layer cake if it's a sheet cake from Sam's Club. But 3 cakes is the standard. As a believer, of course, I like 3-layer cakes. Because the 3-layer cakes embodies the triune-ness of God.
That's right.
1 layer for the Father. The foundation layer is for the Father.
Ooh.
The middle layer is for the mediator between us and God. And the top layer that ensures that we stay on the top of life is the Holy Spirit.
Gee, I wasn't ready for all that.
You wasn't ready.
I was not ready.
Ready in season, out of season. That's who I am.
Okay.
I go to Whole Foods because, if I'm going to get a 3-layer cake, I'm going to try to get the best, most organic kind I can.
Okay.
I go to Whole Foods. I go to the dessert section. I did my social distancing. I let the other lady take her time, pick her dessert. I was 6 feet away. Had my mask on. Well, that was before the whole order came for the full mask, so I ain't rock no mask. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was still doing social distancing.
Okay.
The lady was taking a long time, but I was patient because I was just, I'll get my turn. I get to the cakes. The 3-layer cake that I was looking for wasn't there. The disappointment in my soul was deep. Yeah. Because Whole Foods was about 23 minutes away.
Oh.
I just knew if they don't have cake 1, then maybe they have cake 2.
Okay.
They had none, BD. The lady saw the disappointment in my eyes. Yeah. She said, "Sir, we got what you looking for?" I said, "I'm looking for, your yellow cake with chocolate ice." I said, "But if you don't have that, I was hoping that you might have number 2, possibly a birthday cake, 3 layers." And if you don't have that, I was like, "I see that you don't have none of my 3. I don't see carrot cake there." She says, "Sir, we got all 3 of those cakes in cupcake form." I said, "Ma'am, thank you for your help, but no thanks."
Oh.
And walked off.
Wow.
Cupcakes are not for men, BD. Yes, the people in the comments and people watching, they probably sitting here saying, but JE, they had your cake in cupcake form right there, looking at you saying, hey, we got you, man.
Right.
How do I look carrying a cupcake? First off, it don't matter if I go into my car and eat the cupcake by myself. I don't feel like a man. Because first off, I like eating my desserts with utensils. I don't like eating cake with just my hands and face. I got a beard. I don't got time for icing and anything. You see what I'm saying?
It's not a good look.
Yeah. And I understood she was probably confused, puzzled even when she was like, sir, but we have these cupcakes, which is $1 cheaper than the slice cake. I said, ma'am, you don't understand. Okay? I am a grown man. And I'm not about to carry this cupcake to get checked out. And then I can't lie to the checkout person when they say, oh, this for your wife? That's so sweet. No, it's actually for me. Then she's going to start having questions about my, how I identify sexually.
Wow.
And so it was at that juncture where I was like, you know what, man? Why do they have so many cupcakes but don't have enough sliced cakes? My errand of grievance is, why is there an abundance of cupcakes and stuff like that? But when it comes to man cakes, when it comes to cakes, 3-layer cakes for men, where are they in abundance? I don't want to drive downtown to where the diners are. I don't want no cake that's been sitting out in dingy diners. I want 3-layer cakes that are easily accessible. There should be 3-layer cakes everywhere.
There should.
And these when they go to Harris, see, those little cakes look so pathetic. I don't want that. So BD, man, I know she was like, but sir, I said, ma'am, I'm fine. Thank you for your customer service, but I am okay. I'll come back another day. So I was hurt, man, because I really wanted that dessert last week, man. But I looked at those cupcakes and I was like, I wish I could, but I just got to keep my man card.
JE, here's the thing. I agree with you. Okay, there's no substitute for a 3-layer cake. Okay,
None.
There's nothing better. You've got three different, layers of the cake. You've got the frosting in between. Okay. There's a certain science to how I, cut into the cake and I save the frosting, the bottom.
BD, are we getting to the science of how we eat our cakes?
We can do that.
Because there's a science in how I dissect my cakes.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and share yours.
No, BD, you was on a roll, BD. I didn't want to take your
thunder.
thunder.
I just, so the bottom of the cake, right, doesn't have any frosting. So you have to just make sure that you get the second to the last layer of frosting. That has to be in that first bite. Okay. And you tackle that. And then, you go from there. But you just want to ensure that you have frosting in every bite. So there's certain science to the way that you break down a 3-layer cake, and that we don't necessarily have to get into all of that. The fact of the matter is, they're just better than cupcakes. But what I will say, JE, is you just haven't been married long enough. You see, when it comes to marriage, over time, you get domesticated to a certain extent, JE, that, you're going to end up eating cupcakes. Okay. What are you, 2 years into the marriage?
Yeah, it'll be 2 years in October. Yeah.
2 years in, I still wasn't eating cupcakes either. 5 years, JE, I would argue.
What?
I was still not eating cupcakes. But when you get to year 6, year 7,
man, I mean, cupcakes.
There's just certain liberties, certain moral standards that you held as a man that over time have just been broken down. It's like the Grand Canyon, it's like a river, the river's flowing through, and just over time it erodes away at the earth's surface, and you have a river. That's how it is, JE. Over time, they want things their way. And over time, your standards that you hold to as a man it just slowly erodes away. I'm going to
Really?
be honest. And furthermore, you also have to start making life decisions as a married man as well. Because after a while, you're eating that good married food. You're going to your in-laws' houses and relatives' houses, eating all that good food, and it's delicious, but it's unhealthy. So what I had to do, Je, is make a decision for my future. Because if I buy an entire 3-level cake,
Hmm.
I'm gonna eat that whole cake.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let it just sit in my house and go to waste. It's just an ethical, it's an ethical thing. I cannot, eat half of the cake and then my wife's going to just be like, after she eats like 1 or 2 slices, she's over it. She's done. So I'm not going to just, let that cake go to waste. I'm going to eat that whole cake. Right. But I don't want to die. So what I've learned to do, Je, is to just go with the flow. When we're out and about, and we go to Gina's Cupcakes, or wait, who's got the good cupcakes? I forget what the name is, but anyway,
You talking about Nathan Bunt cakes?
No.
Oh, okay.
I do love them though. But that's another topic for another day. But they're, these foo-foo cupcake stores, they've got the cupcake flavors, they've got the foo-foo frosting with the flowers and the, and they've got all that, the bright colors, the sprinkles.
Oh man.
The panache, I think it's called.
Panache.
Yeah. Ganache, panache, whatever it's called. It's fancy. It's pastries. But I've learned to just embrace them, Je, and get that cupcake. And with that cupcake, I can say, this is me controlling my flesh. This is self-control. I'm going to eat this cupcake. I'm done. Okay? I'm done. The problem with the whole cake, Je, is you're going to eat that whole thing. How many slices is your wife going to eat if you buy a 3-layer cake?
She says she maybe one in a possible.
One, what? Say what?
One in a possible, like spades. She one, possibly a second one.
There you go. So what are you going to do with the rest of that cake, Je?
Freeze it.
That's a viable option.
Come on, BD.
That's a viable
I am a man that is called to be salt and light.
No compromise.
No compromise. I will preserve. If it's good cake, I'm going to preserve it, bro. Wrap it in 3 layers of foil. Put it right there, the top part of the freezer.
Okay.
Listen, if there's a will, there's a way. My thing is, man, there is nothing. What if they started creating 3-layer cupcakes?
Oh gosh.
Come on, man. See, that's why I do what I do. That's why I talk the way I talk, because innovation happens on this podcast. Why not the small cupcake, make it a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Not the regular size cupcakes. Make it a little bit bigger. Make them 3 layers. Oh, a 3-layer cupcake. Imagine a 3-layer yellow cake with chocolate icing cupcake.
I feel like that might be done.
No, it's not done. It's never been done. BD, why won't you let me be great? Why you have to do research and make the people think that there's an option? There's alternatives.
Yeah, it's been done.
It's been done?
Well,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's a picture here.
But it hasn't been done.
Not by like an institution, I don't think.
Nope. But you know what? I don't got time to look at this because I don't want nope. My innovation stands.
Copyrighted.
Yeah. 3-layer cupcakes, bro, for the men. See, that's the cupcake I don't mind eating, because when I peel that thing back, that little paper thing that holds the cupcake together, and they see that 3 layers, they go, oh, that's the man. That's a man right there. He's walking in wisdom. I see what he's doing there. Because even with a bigger size, like maybe bundt cake size, right? The small bundt cake size, put 3 layers on that joker, cover the bottom up, however you want to cover it, and put a nice thing of icing on top, bruh. See, I like it because men should not eat with their hands unless it's a sandwich or fries.
That's right.
No man should eat a pastry with their hands besides a donut.
Okay.
Cupcakes, come on, man. That's too cute, man. Imagine you sitting out there in the parking lot with your window down and you trying to be in privacy and eat your cupcake. And some guy with a big truck with the big tires pull up beside you, bro. And you mid bite in that cute little cupcake.
With the frosting in the middle.
Glitter on your nose. You got your little ganache on your nose, the little sprinkles in your beard. And you trying to say what's up to him, and he's looking at you like, man, social distancing for sure with this guy. I mean, look at the cupcakes in our background, BD.
Yeah, you can't do that.
See, and now a man should eat a cupcake that is man colors,
right?
Dark browns, and that's it.
That's it.
It has to be a chocolate. It has to be like it has to be. You can't even tell it's a cupcake. It might be a brownie. Brownies you can eat with your hands. But cupcakes, bro,
you can eat cupcakes. Here's the thing about what you can do when you're married. I mean, you can eat those cupcakes within the privacy of your own home, but you can't eat them in public. You can't. And I'm always with my wife. What I will not do, and I agree with you on turning down those Whole Food cupcakes, I will not go out in public by myself and buy some Fufu cupcakes.
Okay, maybe that's the move.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the move. See, for me, I like to go by myself so that my wife won't have nothing to say about what I want to do in my life. So I see what but still, BD, I still don't think I can eat a cupcake with my wife, man. It's just not the same.
What are you gonna do when y'all are on date night, JE, and y'all just went and saw a good movie, and then y'all are strolling along, in the outdoor mall, outdoor strip, whatever it is, and there's a nice little cupcake shop, and she wants to go get a cupcake, JE. What do?
I get her a cupcake.
And you go without a cupcake?
Yes.
That is a man of principles.
Man of principles, bro. Because first off, man, the cupcake was probably too cute for too long in that display counter. At least cupcakes don't hold moist. They don't hold moist like layer cakes, BD, because the layer cake is wrapped in swaddling clothes. It is wrapped in icing. Icing has butter. Butter holds the moisture in the cake. I don't know if this is scientifically proven, but I'm going off the top of the dome and what I think about food. That wall of chocolate holds the moisture in. That paper that's holding a cupcake, that's not holding moisture. I think my problem with cupcakes, I've had more dry cupcakes than moist cupcakes.
Look, I will say this. These cupcake places that be popping up nowadays, they be having some good cupcakes. They do be moist, and they do be delicious.
You got your max deal. You able to get the Bugatti now. You got your money. You got your max deal. Your marriage is solidified. My marriage is solidified too, but I'm still in my rookie contract, BD.
I got to stand to certain principles.
Principles. Now, when I get 6 years and we got kids, then now cupcakes make sense.
Right.
See, a wife alone is not worth cupcakes for me. They're too small. They're too dry. They're not enjoyable. When you have kids, you kind of have to get cupcakes. But I think for me, BD, I'm a man of principles and I'm a man of purpose, right? So I'm always going to see. That's what I should have did. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Next time I'm calling in, what sliced cakes do y'all have available? Right. Can you hold one to the side for me and put a sticky note with my name, Joshua Ezzy, on that? Okay. Actually put 2 slices to the side.
Okay.
Because every time I go to Whole Foods, they have an abundance of cupcakes.
It's cupcake culture nowadays.
Cupcake culture, but see, they trying to get rid of the men.
Deep conversation.
That's deep. They're trying to get rid of the men. They know good and well. Well, we don't want no manly man at our stores. Because manly man like 3-layer slices, bro.
That's right. That's
yeah, man. Actually, I'm kind of. Yeah, I'm gonna do a 3-layer. I'm gonna find somewhere this weekend.
You need to go to whatever that place is that made your and I have to give you the utmost the respect and honor and reverence goes to you, JE, for staying true to your sticking to your guns. All right.
Yeah.
It was about 2 years ago that you guys got married in October of 2000 and I believe 18.
October 13th. Yeah, you're right.
Make make sure you know that date.
Oh yeah, I'm good as 13.
I traveled to Charlotte. I was the best man in the wedding, and after the wedding,
You're
you
welcome.
know, absolutely. We were convening. We had the reception, and just like every wedding, I expected to see the big towered foo cake, the buttercream frosting and the
Yeah,
raspberry panache in the middle or whatever,
yeah.
the fancy. I expected that. I was like, I'll politely get a little slice and nibble away at it, and just converse with the people that are there. But what I didn't expect, as I turned my head to the right, I saw alone, standing like a pillar of manliness and pride and everything that we stand for as the Good Guys podcast. Standing alone was a yellow cake with chocolate icing.
Hmm.
It had no fancy garbs. It had no foo flowers. It had no
No,
garments.
no, no
None.
garments.
Just a yellow cake swallowed in chocolate frosting. May have had his name, Joshua. I don't even know what it said. And as I saw that cake, I gained newfound respect for you, J.E., as a man, for saying, you know what? You can have whatever flowers you want hanging up in the church. Okay.
Whatever you want.
The venue, you can have wherever you want. I don't care.
Wherever you want.
Okay. All of the dresses, all of that. You choose all of that.
It's yours.
Those are your decisions to make. But this one thing I know.
Oh,
I will have a yellow, as for me and my wedding, we will have a yellow cake with chocolate icing. And you stood your ground, J.E., because I know they tried to come for you. I know they didn't want to let you have the cake that you wanted to have. I know it because they didn't want to let me have the cake that I wanted to have.
Yeah.
But you stood strong, J.E. You had a yellow cake with chocolate icing. I may or may not have eaten 3/4 of it myself.
But BD, it was for us. BD, see, as I had the last few months of singleness, I sat my wife down, I sat her sister down, I sat her mom down.
Yeah.
And I looked them all in the eyes, all three.
And
I said, listen, you can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But if I do not see sitting at the right hand of that foo cake, if I do not see a yellow cake with chocolate icing, I said, don't put no decorations on it. Let it just be chocolate. I said, if you want to write something, let it be thin letters.
Okay.
I want people when they look at that cake and be like, oh, that cake's not cute.
No.
Because if it's a cute cake, people want to slice.
Right.
And I said this for the fellas. I was out my feeling. See, I wish I was you at my wedding, BD. Because it was hard for me to truly enjoy the cake in the moment.
Right.
But man, when I got that cake home, man. Oh man, I ain't used no fork, BD. I ain't used no knife, BD. I sat that thing after I done enjoyed the festivities. Man, that cake was so good, BD.
Yeah, that cake was good, man. That cake was good. You need to go wherever that was. You need to go there.
I asked my wife. I'm going to have to run that back this weekend.
Yeah. All right. That's enough about cake for now.
For now.
We're going to go ahead and get into the main topic of the day. And today we are talking about how do I pursue my purpose. All right. A lot of times on the Good Guys podcast, we talk about relationships. We talk about relationships in general. So we talk about relationships with the opposite sex. We talk about relationship with God. And we also talk about relationship with self and things that you can do to improve yourself so that you can be better in your other relationships. I think that's an important part of it. So we definitely want to explore this topic today, because a lot of times one of the main things that we focus on when we're talking about finding that right person for you, we talk about their purpose, and their purpose aligning with what your purpose is. So the most important thing you can do before even worrying about finding somebody to pursue or to pray to God about, or whatever the case may be, is to know what your purpose is, because that's going to tell you a lot about, that's going to give you a lot of insight when you are actually, weighing whether or not you should talk to someone of the opposite sex that you might be interested in. If you know who you are, you need to know who you are and what your purpose is. So that's what's going to help you. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. JE, I'm going to let you kick it off, and I will chime in after you go ahead and start it off.
Yeah. Like BD said, it's very important. In order to know your purpose or your person, you got to know your purpose. And in order to know your purpose, you got to know the person of God. So I'm going to go ahead and start with number one. And it's a very important point that I think a lot of us need to really process and understand in regards to how to find your purpose. There's a lot of layers to purpose, how to find it, or how to discover it, how to develop, and how to distribute it. Maybe we'll talk about the latter two Ds later on how to develop your purpose and distribute it. But these points that we have today are really along the lines of how you can really find and begin the pursuit of your purpose. Number one, in order to find your purpose, you have to simplify your life and get to know the person who knows your purpose and personality well. Again, it says you have to simplify your life and get to know the person who knows your purpose and personality inside out. Now, what does that mean? Unfortunately, a lot of us, we live complex lives. A lot of us, our lives are so cluttered, so to such a degree that we're unable to hear God clearly. In order to find your purpose, you got to be in a place of being found. You got to be in a place where you're constantly tapping into God's frequency. So what I'm saying here, in order to position yourself to find your purpose, you got to remove the clutter. You got to simplify your life. It's hard to hear from God if your life is full, if your life is cluttered. You have to simplify, because there's too many voices in a lot of our lives. We have mama's opinion, daddy's opinion, social media's opinion, the Twitter feed's opinion. That's why we talked about last podcast. Watch what you engage with on your social media feed, because that's what you eat. You are what you eat. If that's what you feed on, that's what you're going to fulfill. And so in order to find or position yourself to discover and find your purpose, you have to simplify your life. Simplified doesn't mean that you can't do anything. It just means getting rid of the excess, because the more you simplify your life, the more sensitive you become to the Spirit of God. And then you are able to properly see what it is that you're here to do. It says, simplify your life and get to know the person who knows your purpose and personality inside and out. When you simplify your life becomes more still. And the more still your life becomes, the more time you have to seek God. The more time you seek God, the more sensitive to the Spirit of God you become. And you're able to recognize purposes, lowercase p, that leads you to the platform of purpose, capital P. But in order to find your purpose, my friends, you really got to say, okay, Father, I'm going to simplify my life. I'm going to still my life. And Lord, I'm going to seek you, because you are the one that knows me inside and out. He's the one that's able to say, son, daughter, here is who you are. And the more you become aware of who you are in light of the attributes of Christ, and then you begin to see the Spirit operating in your life, those fruits, then you will be able to see, now that I got my roots deep and now that my fruits are budding, I'm able to really offer the world shade and fruit. That's what your purpose is. Your purpose is supposed to not be so caught up in the bark, not so caught up in the tree. Your goal in life is to find the stream beneath in your roots and to produce fruit that people can feed from and be properly nurtured and with nutrients, where they're not looking for, where your fruit is not genetically modified, but it's actually pure organic, because you in a pure water of God. And then you can actually offer shade, support, comfort to those people. But in order for you to even start the process of discovering or operating or finding your purpose, you must simplify your life. And how do you simplify it? Get rid of all the excess noise. Get rid of all the excess people. Get rid of all those different things that keeps you distracted, and get to know the person who knows your purpose and personality inside out. Get to know God, man, fellowship with him. And that's how you begin to discover what it is that he wants you to do in his life.
Yeah, that's a good point. And we're talking about pursuing our purpose. So this is kind of like laying the groundwork, preparing, the soil to hear from God and for what your purpose is. And that's critical. Like, simplify your life, watch what you're listening to, watch what you're putting in. And then that's how you're going to understand and hear what you need to be giving out. Right. So you need to filter what you're taking in, so that God can put in, so that God can put stuff inside of you that you can then, put out into the world, because that's what your purpose is. You have to filter. You have to filter. We get caught up so much in constantly having noise, constantly having, influences and things in our ears. Like, we can't go 5 minutes and just sit still. We can't do it. Like, we're listening to music in the car. We're watching something on TV, and we spend so much time, and we spend, precious time doing that. And it's not really helping us. And there's nothing wrong with watching TV from time to time. But if you don't know what your purpose is, you need to be intentional about making sure that, hey, I'm setting time aside to just sometimes cut off everything, right? Spend time with God. Get to know God. Get to know God. Spend time in the Word. Spend time understanding the nature of God. Spend time, like J.E. said, getting to know the attributes of God, and modeling your life after that, becoming more like Christ. And that's like I said, that's the groundwork. Because if you're not, if you don't have that foundation, if you are not becoming like Christ, then you know what I mean? You're not going to be able to carry out the purpose that he has for you. You might end up over in left field somewhere with something that's not even your purpose, not your calling, or anything like that. And I think that's what happens a lot of times. We just go through life. I'm gonna be honest, transparency, like the quarantine was one of the best things that happened to me in a long time, because it made me slow down and just have, time to really just reflect and think about, all right, cool. This is where I've been. This is what's going on. Like, man, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have not spent time with God like I used to. I need to get back, and increase that amount. I need to increase the time, the quiet time that I spend praying and talking to God. And it's been amazing. Like, I've had so many new ideas, so much inspiration. Like, that's where that stuff comes from. God will talk to you. He'll give you ideas. He'll give you concepts. He'll give you dreams and visions, but you have to spend time with him. Sometimes you got to turn the TV off. Sometimes you got to turn the computer, your phone. Sometimes you got to turn it off. So that is critical, man. Spend that time, do the groundwork, prepare yourself, prepare the soil, so that God can plant on the inside of you what his purpose for you is.
And that's just real talk, man, because we are living in the last days. The Bible says, I forgot the scripture. I think it's in Ephesians 5, I think 15 through 17. It says, I forgot what it says, man, but it was talking about making the best use of the time, because the days are evil. We have to get to a place where we say, you know what, God, I'm not going to waste my life. And I tell people, this is how you spell time. You spell time L-I-F-E. That's how you spell time, because your time is your life. And when you get to know the person of God and you steal your life, you will begin to see just how serious life is and how superficial a lot of people live it. And then as you engage the person of God, he'll begin to shape your perspectives of life. Then you'll begin to have his worldview. You begin to walk in his level of understanding. You'll begin to walk in that wisdom where you're able to say no to this person and keep your life simplified, keep your life specific, keep your life structured and supported by systems, so that you can continuously to see the mark of the high calling, keep seeing the goals, keep seeing the overall picture of life. And then you'll be able to say, man, I live fulfilled. My goal is to live full and die empty. I don't got time, man. I don't got time to be worrying about what other people are doing, being online, caught up what other people are saying about life. I can't even find my books right now, but I'm on to the next book. You see what I'm saying? And I got these books right here. Give me one second.
Mm-hmm.
Is that this is purpose, man. This is purpose. You see that? That's purpose. And my thing is, I can't sit there and increase. Just because I got married, just because I increased to another level doesn't mean I increase extra stuff. No, I got to keep my life simple because we are pilgrims passing through. We are on a mission.
Right.
Either you on a mission or you missing the mission. And that's why I'm telling people, how many missed calls do you have from God? God is calling you. God is calling you to time with him. But what we do is we block his number, or we got somebody else in place of Christ that we have with a graven image. We don't answer the call. And I don't care how insecure, inadequate, it's the presence of God that increases the fullness of joy. The Bible says in his presence, there's a fullness of joy. It's hard for insecurities to live in joy. It's hard for inadequacies to live in joy. It's hard for fear to live in joy because joy is a perspective. Joy says, I know who I am, I know whose I am, and I know what I'm supposed to do for the I am. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happens when you say, you know what? I'm tired of working for this person. I'm tired of just living through life, going with the motions or going with the emotions. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to what them guys saying. I'm gonna simplify my life, and I'm gonna seek God because God is saying, I fearfully and wonderfully made you. Many are the plans that I have for you. I was the one that knew you before you was even developing your mother's womb. I sent you here with a purpose. But it's unfortunate, BD, how many people live 20 to 25 years, no clue of their purpose, 40 years, no clue. And your purpose was inside of you the whole time. I was a writer before 19. I was a speaker before I found out, and I spoke at my first event at 22. I was all those things, but what happened in society? Bring a child into society. If you're born as a black person or color of skin in America, tell that kid the white man has everything and they know everything. You're gonna be scared of the boogeyman all the days of your life. Or if you brought up in a household where they talk about you should be a doctor, you should be a lawyer, you should be this. It was crazy how we're born into societies and families where we're told opposite of what we are. That's why before me and I have children, I'm already seeking God right now. What are they supposed to do? So I can paint the wall in accordance to the color of their purpose so that I can put things in their room beforehand. I don't got to wait to look at my children and be like, what they're going to be. I ask God, what is my son supposed to be? What is my daughter supposed to be? And I will be proactive in making sure that I, as a father, and BD does it as well, to make sure they are structured and supported and aiming at the right direction of their purpose so they can be masters of their craft. But if I don't know my purpose, will my children know their purpose? If you don't know your purpose, then you're going to have a purposeless minded person walking through life with no sense of identity, no sense of value, no sense of worth. One thing that I'm thankful for my dad, and me and him are great to this day, I really appreciate him. The one thing he told me when I was young, he says, boy, son, you a chief in Nigeria. That's why I got this crazy complex right now. I was told as a young man that you are a chief in Nigeria. You are king. And you know what my last name is in Nigeria? My last name means king. Eze means king. So all these people who's been calling me Eze, I used to laugh at kids in middle school. I said, when they be like, you ain't no chief in Nigeria. I said, well, you call me king every day because y'all always call me Eze. You see what I'm saying? But when you have that mindset, you can do anything.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to say with this first point is simplify your life. Make your life sensitive. Make your spirit sensitive. Seek God. And I'm telling you right now, do not let tonight go by without saying, God, what did you send me here to do? What did you send me here to do? And God's grace, which is sufficient, and that's able to redeem the time, will say, baby boy, young girl, I'm glad you asked. This is what you're here to do. Because when you're in the presence of God, and people are like, well, Josh, I'm not separated from God's presence. If my wife was in this room right now, and I'm not doing a podcast, but if my wife and I are in the same room and my mind is somewhere else, I'm not in her presence. Being in someone's presence means being mentally in that presence. So God's presence everywhere, like you hear me, the analogy was a cell phone. If my cell phone, look at that 5S.
Golly.
What?
That is really small. That's crazy.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro, kids be talking joke about me all the time. Mr. Ezzy, your phone, I can't even see your phone. Your hand bigger than your phone. I say, you know what, kids? You know what? Let me see your phone. Let me dial my number on your phone and see if it works. You got those 6S's, those 6, 7 pluses and 8 pluses, but all you doing is asking me for the Wi-Fi code.
Did you get a new 5S? That thing looks crispy, man.
Hey, no, this thing is about 2 years old, bro. It's crispy.
Okay.
Anyway, Jesus paid the bill for us to have access to the network. If we rely on his payment, we'll always have access. But what oftentimes happens is we take the SIM card out of our phone and say, I don't want your services. I'm gonna go purchase my own SIM card and try to make payments for myself. So what happens is we disconnect ourselves from the network of God to do our own thing. But the purpose of finding your purpose is to be mentally tapped into the person of God, to say, God, here am I, your servant heareth. Here am I, send me. That's it, BB. That's that.
Yeah, you're doing the points first today.
Well, for those that's on my channel, the Coach Josh channel, we're going to go ahead and stop the video right there, and there's a link to the full podcast below. Oh, there we go. The link to the full podcast is below. The rest of the podcast will continue on the Good Guys channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and post in a live feed right now. But for those who's watching later on the Good Guys or watching later on my page or listening later, I'm gonna go ahead and post a link for y'all so that y'all are able to go ahead and watch the rest of the points and the rest of the podcast. So go ahead and hop over to the because most of y'all are watching on my page, and go ahead and hop over there to the Good Guys channel. Give me 1 second as I go ahead and post a link in the chat box here. So for those who are watching on the Coach Josh page to watch the rest of the podcast, head over there. The link is in the chat box right there on both there. Go ahead and head over there now, and we'll love to do the rest of the podcast over there, and give you an opportunity to do so. And we'll see you guys over there. All right, here we go.